What do I think about Michael Wilbon coming out saying we're not on LeBron James's payroll? You could have fooled me. I mean, ESPN used to run commercials where he wear the crown and sit there at Scott Van Pelt spinning in the chair. Could have fooled me. You made a bigger deal about everything he does in totality, especially being in La La Land. Now, granted, there wasn't the same media hype when um, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passed Wilt Chamberlain's record, even though it was. There was some because there were people who couldn't stand Wilt Chamberlain. And there were people who couldn't stand Kareem. So they were glad to anoint LeBron. They've been covering him ever since day one. And they have had this stupid Mount Rushmore debate, or he's number two all time and all this. That's what eats LeBron away because he's up there playing for stats. Even if he was to somehow get a token ring, because that's what it would be, because the Lakers aren't really that kind of team. But you see what the NBA is trying to do. They're trying to push them and Luka Doncic because they want a lethal weapon buddy, cop buddy movie to get to the finals and push the chip right now as we speak. They know he's not in the argument as one of the five best players going, maybe 10, maybe, but he's not top five right now. But they want to push this narrative because of Luca and they want him to look good. And it's an agenda at base. It's a base. But the question is, when you come out and say we're not on the payroll, well, you sure got a funny way of not acting like you are because you can't go nowhere without talking about him. You think when Magic Johnson called him up in the middle of the night and said, come to LA, I can hook you up, that wasn't part of it because the media capital, you sit up there with Stephen A. Smith and y'all sit up there and clamor for the big cities and the limelight. So quite naturally, he's going to feel like he's anointed and entitled. He's trying to break every record he can break. He wants to try to cement something because he's too scared to retire. And he's too scared because he can't get into any ownership because he's too scared that if he goes away, people are going to start coming back at him. And they do because he's played too long as it is now. This Laker run of stacking and bringing a podcaster who was a so-called journalist to be your coach is crazy corny. You got an owner who done looked the other way and coddled with him on the sidelines, and they stood up a black head coach, Darvin Ham, and he done been vulgar and foul mouthed and said all kinds of things, and y'all sat there and y'all said, "Oh, we love LeBron, we like that." Well, yeah, because he thinks that you're supposed to kiss the ring. You're supposed to keep the crown on his head. You're not supposed to talk about Jordan. You're not supposed to talk about Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Julius Erving. You're not supposed to talk about anything that doesn't sit his way. He has the most audacity, the most arrogance, the most smug of any basketball playing superstar I have ever seen. I have never seen another one like him. Tim Duncan won more rings and was more decorated than me. And he never acted like this jive turkey. Kareem didn't. Magic didn't. Jordan was pretty humble considering that he knew he was bad, but he kept it cool. Shaq boasts about his rings, but Shaq's also been very humble in ways too. The old guard did not do this sort of thing. And y'all never criticized him the way he should have. Of course, y'all should have gotten at him for every time. The Miami thing was one thing, but then he wanted to cry and go back home to Cleveland and go get Kyrie and Kevin Love and make trades happen. And he want to go out to LA and force Anthony Davis to come along and then get rid of your coaches. And now he gets Luka. Look at all the moves that it's going on because to try to cover his behind. Under 500 in the finals, and you're still trying to cover his behind. Justify, dignify. Doesn't even have a 500 record in the finals, you know. You see how y'all talk, how y'all walk, how y'all act. You walk on eggs. You don't walk on eggshells with him. You just walk on strings and laces with him. So now you're going to talk about we're not on the payroll. What would make you say that? Because could it be because those refs with those calls all the time? I had to hear about everybody talking about Kansas City Chiefs cheating, Patrick Mahomes downplay. Mahomes is in his prime and his peak. Mahomes didn't won 2 rings without Tyreek Hill. He hasn't had a top tier receiver. He's had Kelsey's a top tier tight end. He don't even have a running back. I dare LeBron James to play a year without a superstar sidekick. Please tell me when's it gonna happen? Because ever since he went to Miami and he went back to Cleveland and he went to LA, he knows nothing less than playing with a top-notch sidekick. If you're supposed to be this all-around great player that they make you out to be, like you the baddest coming since Oscar Robinson, can't you play without having somebody that's a top 5 talent on your team? You go from Anthony Davis to Luka, and you had Dwayne Wade and your Chris Bosh and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. So make it make sense. Y'all didn't cherry pick and let him have a cherry pick career. Y'all sat there and y'all ate up Kevin Durant for trying to do the same thing. You said, "Oh no, 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 you don't." So I don't want to hear that y'all not on the payroll. You turkeys have glorified it. You got some jive turkey like Jamie Foxx out here crying about you criticize him. You got to criticize him. Y'all done sit there and y'all had to sit there and let Shannon Sharp cackle about him goat and all that nonsense and all this mess. You done a disservice to sports fans. You've made it incomplete. You haven't talked about the league. He has been he's almost destroyed the NBA as we know it. Yes, one LeBron James, because it's not about indulging your arrogance. And then to bring his son in who had no business being on a basketball court, getting rid of all these coaches, making all these teammates, try to Russell Westbrook, then tried everything to destroy people. Clutch Sports, all that, the whole thing. If you ain't part of his thing, he bad mouthing. He's been ignorant, and very vulgar and deplorable. I've got nothing good to say about LeBron James. He barely in my top 10 all time right now. Barely. The longer he played the Lakers, the worse it gets because it is basketball related. He doesn't edify the game. He doesn't take it to no new heights. It's all about him and his smugness and his tiredness, and it's tiring. And I told you before, I'll be glad when a new guard takes over the league because he just has done too much damage. And the people on the payroll have been these so-called heads on sticks, like Nick Wrong, Nick Right, slurping him, Chris Broussard, Rapper, all of them like, oh, he's second, all that. Well, when he comes out and is a spoiled brat, and you know how these spoiled brats are out here now, they tell their parents, well, if you don't give me an iPad, you don't love me. And if I don't get an Android, you don't love me. And if I don't have this, and then they have to negotiate. That's what then happened. Pat Riley's the only one that ever told him no. Phil Jackson said, I won't deal with him. Think about it. So y'all done created this monster. Y'all gonna have to figure out how to get done. Because his actions and attitude, and if Anthony Edwards don't want to be the face of the NBA, well, he will be, because they'll trade his butt to the Lakers or something. He going somewhere big. He just saying that now because he's in Minnesota. Obviously. But, LeBron James is ungrateful and he's full of himself. But y'all created the monster, so y'all have to live with it. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all get. I don't hear Mike Wilbon saying, we're not on your payroll. Y'all all on this payroll. Because y'all can't go without talking about them. Ostracize them. If you can go without talking about the Lakers and don't put them on broadcasting, don't have no referees blowing them whistles and stop hyping them up. The Celtics won and you disrespected them. Giannis then won, you disrespected him. Jokic is one, you disrespected him. Steph Curry got as many rings as LeBron James. And y'all don't be pushing Golden State like that way y'all going to now, because I'm sure Adam Silver going to want the Lakers and Golden State in the playoffs. Something's going to give. But you've anointed him so much of what you expect. You treat him like Richie Rich, you get Richie Rich. He should go ahead and run for president because he sure reminds me of Trump. Yeah, I said it because LeBron is more closer to Donald Trump than he is to my dude Raul. I said it. He's not conscious and he's not woke and he's not deep. He's just a robot that's been bought and paid for. And he's full of himself. And the NBA is going to be way better when he's no longer playing. But he can't retire because he's too afraid that if he retires, people are going to forget about him and say what they really feel. I'm going to say it now. Overrated. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. And stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Content creators, keep talking. If you don't feel him, let it be known. Don't listen to them heads on stick on ESPN or the Fox Plantation auction block trying to justify they didn't create that. We didn't create that. We wanted basketball back. We didn't want your side, my side. They let him manipulate the All-Star game with that foolishness. They didn't let him set his teams up with that foolishness. They didn't let him fire coaches with that foolishness. He done ran amok. And he gets his calls and his actions and how he be talking to the refs. They don't call nothing on him. That whole thing with Draymond in 2016, I can't stand Draymond. How the heck is a guy going to get suspended for game 5 in the finals? Especially when a dude flops and set it up. LeBron done all kinds of things, and they've covered his behind. So yes, you are on the payroll. I'm out.